One, my name is Rachelle Moore, and I would like to introduce you a subject called corruption. I'm here to talk to you about corrupt cops. We have good cops and bad cops. We're going to talk about the police department that has corruptions within it. The police department name is Ben Harbor Police Department. It's located in Michigan. And my purpose here is to inform y'all about the corruption in the police department and the officers involved in the corruption. The Ben Harbor Police Department has several issues dealing with corruption. I want to talk to y'all about the corruption that's been going on and the people that's been involved in the corruption. Over 100 youth was locked up unlawfully, and they encountered over 50 to 75 lawsuits because of the corruption that these cops have caused. What would you think about a community or a city that you moved to that didn't have a police station? Louis, what do you think about a community or a city that don't have a police station? Would you live there?
No.
Why? Wouldn't you stay there?
There's no security.
Security? You ever thought it comes to you that it's so clean and peaceful and you don't need a police department? Would that ever come to you if you moved somewhere and there's not a police department? But if you looked around and you seen like broken glass, abandoned houses, and you still don't see a police department, what do they tell you? What would you think?
You shouldn't be there.
Not enough people that weren't police officers.
Okay, what about you, Louis? You got this city that look halfway abandoned, but you have a police station that's shut down. You don't have a police station yet. What would you think? Would you live there? I mean, seriously.
Yeah, if I get.
If my 2-room house stays at $600, yeah.
I would be curious myself. I would be like, either it's too good of a place to stay, or somebody here is really corrupt, stealing and ripped off the police station. That's what I'm thinking. That's just my personal opinion. But it gives me great honor again, to tell y'all about the corruption in this police department here. That's why I'm here today. I want to tell y'all about what a uniform can do if you take advantage of your authority. Things can happen so fast in life. When you look at it, you find yourself stuck. When I think about this topic, I think about this Geico commercial. Anybody ever seen the Geico commercial where the two squirrels get in the middle of the street and they give each other a slam like, yeah, we caused that accident?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think about these two officers. These are my Geico squirrels. Andrew Collins and Bernard Hall, because they was a team. And they remind me, every time I think about this corruption, I'm thinking about those Geico squirrels just clocking and clocking. I'm like, yeah, they had their stuff together. Not only did they know what they wanted to do, they had a plan for it. So I'm looking at these conspiracy squirrels and these conspiracy police officers. Andrew Collins was a supervisor for the Ben Harbor Police Department narcotic unit. Bernard Hall was the sergeant of the narcotic unit. These two guys took it upon themselves to damage the credibility of the whole police department by unlawfully imprisoning over 100 people, nevertheless putting the whole community into a public nightmare. When I say public nightmare, you got two cops that are corrupt, locking up over 100 youths. You got a lot of emotional problems going on here. So that describes my nightmare. The fact that these were some young officers, no older than 34 years old, both of these guys was in their early 30s. They were determined to make the community of Ben Harbor a drug-free spot. You got a lot of youth sitting on the corner with their pants slinging down, want to be street dope dealers. We applaud them. Good job. Go get them. But if you got to go get them under falsification and lying on them and lying to get search warrants and police reports, you telling them that you're doing drug buys that's not happening, you falsifying your police report, you ripping off the city that you work for, and you doing whatever you got to do to make yourself look good. You have forgot your principles here in your job. You're an officer. You're supposed to serve and protect, not serve and take what you want. Andrew Collins and Bernard both got caught and went to federal prison. Not state prison where they sent all their victims at. They go to federal prison. Everybody knows the difference between state and federal prison, right? All right, and so they had their Kool-Aid and their carbonate. So it wasn't no, I guess I probably would have went to boot camp too. I call it boot camp, you know. They got 37 months. 37 months. You got people you locked up that did 5 years, but you get 37 months. Let's not forget these are police officers. They get 37 months in a federal prison, and you give them a fine like $250,000. What they got to do with the 100 youth you locked up and the emotional abuse and the money that's been spent out of their home pocket and their parents? Well, don't worry about it. We're gonna fire these cops, so said the state attorney general, because he went that far up. And we're gonna compensate you victims. You 100 youth, we're gonna give y'all an expunged record. We're gonna give you a pardon letter so you can get out of prison. And then we're gonna let you wait 3 to 4 years, and we're gonna give you a settlement. We're gonna buy you. But we're gonna give these officers federal prison in 37 months and a fine. Probably won't be able to work for a police department again, but you know, we gotta remember that they did protect and serve at one time. We gotta give them some respect, even though they corrupt. It took the FBI and the U.S. Attorney General office to come down to this town, Ben Harbor, Michigan, and help the police department clear itself up. You had so many complaints from citizens, they couldn't understand how this one cop was just tearing the whole city up. And you got kids saying, we're not guilty. We're not guilty, but who can you believe? You gotta wait the justice system against your child, and you know your child out there doing stuff in the street. Well, I do. I'm a personal experience. I'm a parent of one of the victims. And I was going to school to get my criminal justice degree, and I knew my son was just a hard-head pothead. So whatever. Shut up, you finna go. And don't say nothing to me because you got a felony. Better be glad it wasn't me that got you. Come to find out, my son was telling the truth. Imagine how that made me feel. The same judge that locked him up, I had to deal with him that night in class, and the only way I can deal with that pain was to whoop him on every assignment he gave me. I imagined that I was whooping him. When I would get an A, I said, I whooped him. I got him, son. I whooped him. You think that would be enough for the Ben Harbor Police Department after you've seen 100 youths get locked up on falsified charges, being planted drugs on their car, saying that they drug dealers? You got people going back and forth. This courthouse is like an open revolving door. No one understands what's going on. Finally, you know, you get the FBI and the Attorney General come down and they clean the problem up and everybody's okay. Maybe something is going to change. Don't none change. Before you can close your mouth, here comes another officer, Officer Graves. You think Ben Harbor had enough issues to deal with, you know, that police department is really hectic. But no, we got another officer. This is a preacher. And he works at the school system. We have a school, high school, Ben Harbor High School. He works there too, monitoring the halls. He gets a call one day, a complaint call from a high-rising building, a marijuana smoke. He decides to go out, check out the call. When he enters the house, you know, get to the assailant's house or whatever, knocks on the door with the call and say, well, I got a complaint about marijuana smoke. He noticed the marijuana, confiscate the marijuana, don't say nothing, tell the young lady, bye. 2 days later, she get a phone call, come down to the station. She goes down to the police station, Ben Harbor police station. He gets her in a room and tell her, you can give me a blowjob or I can press charges on you for this marijuana. You gonna sex me here. Right in the Ben Harbor police station. She goes in the closet room. She gives him a blowjob, do what he asks. When he get done, he's a very good cop. He gives her back her marijuana. Another flavor for your mouth, huh? That's what I say. You know, that was nice. I don't get locked up, I get to blow you off, and I get my weed back right here in the police station. Guess I go home happy. She leave, couple days later, or should I say, I'm gonna give it a month. He couldn't get it out of his mind. Not only am I a cop, I'm superior. I got blowed right here in the police station. Let me try this one more time. He called her, well, you know, you need to come back down here. And he started blackmailing her. If you don't give it to me again, I'm gonna press those charges on you. After he and blackmailed her once and gave her the weed. She said, I'm not getting on my knees no more. She tells. So Officer Graves ended up getting charged with sexual harassment. He said that the sex was consensual though, when he got caught, okay? Now I admit I blackmailed her and took the weed and did all that, but the sex part, she gave that to me. I thought that was funny. You know, if you're guilty of everything else, why would she lie about the sex part? It just, but you know, I'm a pastor and I'm married, don't get me wrong now. And I do work at the high school with my children. But you know, that was another lawsuit. So we got 100 lawsuits by these two cops, Andrew and Bernard, that just wrecked the whole community and took away 100 youths off the street. So you know it's looking abandoned in this small city. Now we got another cop that's raping our girls and telling them that this is the way it go down. So as a community, where's your faith? What do you have? Who can you run to? Again, I asked y'all, what would you do if you went to a city or a town that didn't have a police station? The city of Benton Harbor, Michigan suffers emotionally from the actions of these cops. As a parent, I suffer emotionally. I cry about it because I cannot believe that I care more about me and my education than I did my children as a parent, and allowed somebody to take my child and do what they want to do with it. Even though he got paid $100,000, let's subtract the attorney fee. When he got done, there wasn't nothing but a house and a couple cars, okay? But my child is emotionally wrecked up here because in his mind, who is there for him? My own mama didn't believe me and stand by me. So it's a little credibility there I lost with my son. But the police department, I have a grudge, and I know if I want to be a good girl that I cannot live in love and hate. So I'm trying to deal with them and respect them, and I want to give back to the community what wasn't given to me and my children. A lot of love and commitment and faith. I say, you know, Benton Harbor Police Department had their share of characters in the community. And it hurt this community so bad that even though these children are old and they all getting paid, what is these young men gonna do with $100,000, $250,000? You took them at the age of 17 years old. They never had a chance to grow up and spend no money. And they've been in prison 3 and 4 years. They're coming out with this money. And you know what the police department tell them? Why you here? Take your money and leave. Why you still here? My thing is, this is my town I was raised in. Why do I have to leave because you hired a corrupt cop? Who was you to even ask me why I didn't leave? Matter of fact, I don't think only the police department should have got hit. I think the courthouse should have been hit too. I think some of the judges and prosecutors should have got kicked in the butt too, because over 100 people, we're not just gonna blame the cops. Everybody played a part in that, you know? But only these two end up paying the price for it. It's hard to be in a field of correction when you see so many things in that field that need correcting. So I ask y'all, if you're going into criminal justice, stand for something, if not nothing at all. Because there's so many dirty cops out here. And there's so many people out here that don't know their rights. And that's why our courthouse and our jail system are so overpopulated. Only if we ask, we would know. Sometimes telling will relieve a lot of pain. In my conclusion today, I give you a reference. You can go to www.woodtv.com, WOODTV.com, and check this out. You can also go on www.WSBT.com, which is a radio station that covers southwestern Michigan. Oh, they hit it. You can Google Bernard Hall, BERNARD Hall, HALL, and corrupt cops, pop up like a lollipop. Andrew Collins, ANDREW Collins. You can Google him up. Stand out like a sore thumb. He's even on Facebook. No shame. You can go to South Bend Tribune. You can see them there. And you can go to Law Enforcement Corrupt Blogspot.com. BLOGSPOT.com. And I enclosed a couple samples of the story concerning my son to some of you guys in your overflow. I will give you one, Michael, but it touches me because I had nobody to talk to. I started talking to a reporter, and that's what helped me and my child. And my story here today was to just inform y'all about the city of Ben Harbor, Michigan, where I come from, and what's been going on to our youth there, and I hope that we can make a difference in criminal justice. Thank you.
All right.